What's up, guys? Philip at Trade Genius. What is going on with crypto? Everything's like on fire. Bitcoin, big move down over $1,000 in just a few hours, really. And all of the alts really taking a beating. ETH taking a beating. We could go on and on this video about why that happened. There was the Goldman Sachs decision to not open a trading desk. There was the Silk Road coins, a lot of coins that were moved to the exchanges, but prior to this dump. Maybe that was somebody cashing out on that. Who knows, really? But what I wanted to focus on in this video is what we're doing at these levels and what we can be looking forward to. So let's dive into that in this video and see what's going on.
Trade Genius.
All right, so let's just look big picture wise, and then I'm going to jump right into the hourly chart because I want you guys to see the levels that I'm looking at. Also going to look at the crypto fear and greed index, because if you recall that video, it gets to these levels and then you want to buy a jump up on that. So we'll cover that too. All right, so big picture, we're in this descending wedge, and again, we were nearing the 200-day moving average, but in reality, guys, that wasn't real close to that 200-day moving average nor that trend line. So this was a preemptive move down, really in front of this resistance level at 7,500. Okay, and there is our rising wedge that broke out of, and we trailed a stop up there. Full transparency in the room, we actually did take a stab at this 6,800 level, and that bounced for a few hours, and we rolled over hard, but we had a tight stop on that because of the veracity of this move. So here we are, we're at another support level at 6,400 or thereabouts. And the reason why we've stopped here is because if you look at, let's jump right into the hourly chart. If you look at one thing about volume profile, okay, this shows us where the volume is on the range of a move. If we look at the lows to the highs of this recent move, you're going to see on volume profile, here's where all the volume is relative to this range. So of course, here's why we've kind of hit that level and stopped, because this is where your true support is relative to the rest of this move above. That really was light volume, so you could see how price could fall through compared to the accumulation in this area here. Okay, there wasn't a lot of volume, so boom, this runs right back down to this area. Now here's what I'm looking at on the hourly chart, and I'm really focusing on this bottom pane here. It's our Trade Genius oscillator, which we are going to be releasing soon. And what you're going to find is that this oscillator is now down at levels that are extremely oversold, and when we get down to these levels, we really have a high probability of getting a bounce. So I don't even wait for like a cross on this oscillator. I would be looking for, essentially when we get to these levels, one of two things typically will happen, and we will get a consolidation for quite a few hours. In the past, we'd see a BART move up, or we get a quick move down and we create a swing failure, which would be more apparent on like the 4-hour chart. And a swing failure would be making a new low briefly, and then closing that candle, like say on the 4-hour, closing back above the low. So we have a current low of approximately 62.72. So if we were to eke out a new low, get down below that, and then close back above 62.72, I think that's going to be a big sign to get long there. That's what I'm looking at right now on Bitcoin. Again, we're looking at this oscillator, way oversold, typical levels that we've seen in the past where we get decent bounces off these moves. Now, does that mean that this move, the bottom is in? No, it just means we're going to get a decent bounce, and we're probably going to run right back up into some prior resistance, like say in the 65-75 area. So that's what I'm looking at. I don't think this thing cascades down immediately down to the previous lows here. We also have this block here of prior price action where it reacted off of it, and that can take us down to the 6100 level. So that's what I'm looking for. I want to see price kind of show its hand a bit here. No need to be a hero and jump in right at this second. I think that it's this type of situation, this type of move, we've got one big thrust down, two big thrust down. This third one I'm looking for kind of a fake out. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at on the hourly chart. That oscillator to me is screaming that everyone's scared and afraid, but in reality these are the points in time, technically speaking, where we do get a decent bounce off of those levels. Then we'll run up into some resistance, and probably look for some shorts at that point. Now, crypto fear and greed index. Remember, we talked about this on the video the other week. We are now in a situation where we've triggered where we want to look for a bounce on this graph. So if we get below 17, want to wait for a hook up. So we will see tomorrow, get the hook up, that's a sign to go long. All right, so when everybody's thinking the bottom's going to fall out here, actually what's happening is everything's setting up for a bounce to go long. Okay, so just keep that in mind, guys. A lot of times when people get super afraid, that's actually right when you get a bounce. People are super afraid here, so just keep that in mind. The bear side of this story will be, if we look on the daily chart, because even though we are looking like we're shaping up for a quick bounce, you need to be aware of the fact that we've been chewing down on this level here quite a bit, right? We touched here, touched here, touched here. And so yes, we could see a dip down toward the 6,000 level quickly. But you don't want to see these levels get tagged over and over again, because what happens to those levels, the more they get touched, the higher the probability they fall through. The problem with falling through at this level here opens up this huge volume void. It might be a little hard to see the part of the histogram here, but if we zoom out a bit, you're going to see this huge volume void. So for me, this line here of support, big picture, if that doesn't hold, we could slip quickly through this volume void here, and then that gives us a big old volume node around 4,200. So that's the big concern on the downside if this area doesn't hold. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. Typically you can make money when everybody's fearful. The fear factor is pretty high. So let's watch for a bounce on the fear greed index, and also a fake out swing low to the downside probably would be a good indicator to get long for an immediate bounce of several $100s. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. Ring that bell if you're on the mobile, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video update. Take care. Bye.
Trade Genius.